Hello. Hello, hello, hello. It's 7 o'clock. You can hear me. Let me know. You can use the group chat to talk. You don't have to have your video on. Keep your video turned off. If you choose to. You hear me loud and clear. Yes. I just muted everybody. So hopefully as people come in, they will join on mute. We can use the group chat to ask questions. I think that you write your questions in cap so that me and Charity can see. I will try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Because this is I have a free Zoom account. We're only allowed 40 minutes if more than 3 people join. And I see people are coming in. I believe there's like a lag or some sort. Let me see here. Okay. So as you come in, please say hello. Say hey. Right into the group chat. So depending on what device you are using will determine how to find the group chats. I'm not sure. I'm on the computer. I see Sean's here. Hey. If for any reason you cannot hear me, if something happens to my internet, please somebody let me know. I'm going to open up my notes and we're going to get started because those 40 minutes may go really fast. If we finish up early, then that's when we'll chit chat and ask questions. And if I can show you something, demonstration or whatever, we'll do that. Hey y'all, I see y'all coming in. Hi. Thanks for joining. This is our very first in a group silhouette classes. It's going to be a really relaxed type of class here. I'm going to talk. I may move fast. Don't worry. Ask your questions. This is being recorded. So if I do miss your question, I will go back. We'll talk about it in the group or whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully everybody can see my screen well. What we're looking at is what silhouette looks like. This is what it looks like. Once you purchase it, you're going to go to silhouette.com and you will, let's see if we can find, okay. Silhouette America, I think that's what it's called. That's probably not it. Okay, well, let's see if we can get to the actual silhouette. If I can't get there quickly, then I'm not going to waste too much time. But this is what silhouette looks like online. It's very different than Cricut. So if you are a Cricut user and you're here just to check it out and see what it looks like, you basically get a subscription where you get paid, but you use it as credits. So the credits are okay. I like their images. I don't have a problem with them. I usually just buy a few points, I guess, and then you can see regular price. You get these boost points. See, with Cricut and other cutting machines, you may have to pay a monthly fee. So you could just spend one fee and you can let those credits or credit boosts go as long as you need it to go. So as you can see here, you get $30 of credits for $24. That's what I spent one time. And I think that's what I bought the first time, and it lasted me a really long time, like super, super long. So it's up to you how you want to handle the subscription, but you just type in Silhouette Design Store, or you just do silhouetteamerica.com, and that's where you'll go to download your program. It gives you step by step, so I don't waste too much time with that because it's in your package, it's in your box. So for those who still have their Silhouette still in the box, you have to take it out the box, plug it in, get all the information out of it, and it's going to send you to silhouetteamerica.com, and that's how you get your information there. I will say up here at the top of the screen, I have a business edition. Why is my laptop dying? Let me plug it in. I have a business edition, which means I have access to anything. Well, if you have a Cameo, I have access to everything. So anything that Silhouette offers with their design, everything, all these little doodads around here, I have access to. If you want to use Silhouette for free and don't buy the machine, you can do that. Okay, I heard some things. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anybody coming in. Okay. I hear noises. Okay, so like I was saying, so you own a Cricut and you want to use Silhouette's Design Studio. You can do that. You will come into some issues because you won't be able to export, sorry, excuse me, you won't be able to export your images in all the available formats because it's the free edition. But you can use Silhouette Design Studio, and that's what we're looking at here, but cut it with Cricut. You may need to buy, I believe, the designer edition. You may need to buy that first. You could buy those, they're like little cards you buy, like gift card type of things. You can purchase those on Amazon or at silhouetteamerica.com. They're not hard to find. Okay, you was just switching your devices. That's fine. You're fine. I just kept hearing something. So we covered that. Can you use Silhouette without a machine? Yes, you can. You can use it just as a designing platform and cut it with something else. But you won't be able to do that with the free edition. You will have to upgrade either to the designer edition or to the business edition. So if you see me click on things that you don't have access to, that's probably because I have the business edition. But I don't use all the options that are available in the business edition. I don't use them all. I might have used it once and probably never did it again. Like I just did the rhinestones on my jacket. That was the second time I've used that feature. It was okay. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I'll definitely have to do more practice with that. So now we're going to go straight into page setup. So you have your Silhouette. You've already logged it in and you're ready to create. You need to know what you want to do. You want to set your page up. That is the first step because there's different sizes. You can cut. We're going to talk as if we have a machine, okay? So you can cut with or without a mat. So if you have a Cameo or if you have a portrait, you don't need those sticky mats like we use with Cricut to cut vinyl. I'm not sure how easy that would be cutting on sticker paper. I've always used a mat when I cut paper, but with vinyl, you do not need to use a mat. So you always want to set your page up, and I'm going to show you what all this looks like. Registration marks for print and cut, and print using with or without a grid. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. So these are our grid here. Obviously, it looks like a grid. It's like a ruler. So the first option is right here at the top. It looks like a piece of paper. This is our page setup. If you select it and move it over, it will allow you to select more options on our layers panel. I don't know if this helps if I use a little pointer so that you can maybe see what I'm pointing at. I'll just use this one. Okay, that's kind of dumb. Not an arrow. We'll do this one. Okay. So right here, why is it doing this? Is layers, our layers panel. That's what we're gonna kind of refer this to as like a layers panel. On the right and on the left. On the left here, this pointer is important that you get familiar with that, because when you use different options over here, at least with my system, I have to constantly keep going back and hitting select. At least in the beginning, that's what I had to do. So we have our design area set up. So right now my machine is connected to the portrait 2, which basically means it has the auto blade. My cutting mat is 8x12. But if I select it, you'll have different cutting mats here, different machines. So you just choose the machine you want, or you could just select auto. Different size cutting mats here. For the portrait, I always use just the 8x12. But if you're not going to use a cutting mat, you could just make it disappear. And I do apologize that it turned black. Oh, I was messing with that in here. Just change that. So that's what it would look like if just ignore the fact that it was black. And this is cutting without a mat. So this is something I would use if I'm cutting vinyl or heat transfer vinyl. You don't have to use a mat, but you want to keep your show cut border turned on, because you want to know where your design is within the cut area. Because if you don't have that on, then you basically have no idea where to place your image, and that can cause a lot of problems. So your media size. So this works depending on what you're cutting. Let me see. Yeah, so we want to be able to see. If I do a letter, it's going to make it smaller. I normally just leave it on whatever machine that I'm cutting on, or wherever it was. It's fine with me. The width and the height, you can adjust all of these. I normally don't mess with it because it's usually auto set. The transparency, you can play with that a little bit if you just want to see a white background opposed to seeing the grid. I normally keep that all the way off because I want to see my sizing. You can change the orientation here, rotation, and the way you see my settings is normally how I leave it. And whichever way you choose, when you close silhouette and come back, it will stay here. It stays at whatever setting you put it. So if you're always cutting vinyl, you have to worry about coming in and changing it every single time. As you see, it's the same. So the second is our options. This is dealing with the grid, your rulers, colors. I don't normally play too much in this box. So if you are more than welcome to select different things and see if it works, you can do the crosshairs. If you want the crosshairs following you, I can't stand that. Then we have our registration marks. This will fall under our print and cut features. We will address this later. So you always want to set your page up for whatever type of project that you are working on. If you are just doing like my size paperwork here, if I'm cutting vinyl, I'm not going to cut any vinyl no bigger than this mat. So I will just leave my settings. Okay. If I'm moving too fast, remember, leave your questions in the box. I don't want to move in the box. In the group chat, just leave your questions there. I'm going to check it. If you have any questions in regards to the page setup. If not, I am going to keep going. So once we cover the page setup, I want to show you how to open and save files. Now, because I have a business edition, I can open and save all kind of files. The DXF file, SVG files, and studio files. And studio files are the files that you create within Silhouette. They won't work any other place other than Silhouette. So let's keep. Okay. Just switch it. Oh, girl, pick a device. Pick a device. It's okay. You're fine. You're fine. So we're going to talk about the studio files. So SVGs are for business edition only. So if you know you work a lot with SVG files, then you should definitely consider purchasing the business edition. And I bought mine off of Amazon. It might have been like $60. Just type in Silhouette business edition key card and it will pop up. I can link it in the group and you can go straight to it also. Remember, when you buy or when you purchase your files, you have to unzip them first. It's important to unzip your files. You must do it because if you didn't unzip it, it's not going to work here. So you have to unzip your files before you can load it into the Silhouette. And when you're saving your files, it depends on your preference, but I like to save my files onto the hard drive. So when you go to File, Save, or Save As, I like to go to Save to my hard drive. You are more than welcome to save to your library, which I will show you what my library looks like. But sometimes the library could get a little funky and your images get a little weird in there. So I always like to keep a hard copy on my computer. So you can do both. It's up to you. But I always do it, save it to my hard drive in the beginning. All right. Save the hard drive. Okay. Shape as a template. Transformation tag. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. So when you want to open up a file, you just go to File and you go to Open. And wherever you are purchasing your files, wherever you save them, that is where you go when you want to go get them. It's just that simple. So if you save it on your desktop, then you go to Open, you're going to select Desktop. You're going to go ahead and select Desktop. Hello, if you're just joining us, if you have any questions, please type them in the group chat. Welcome, thanks for joining us. Again, if you have any questions, you can drop them right in the group chat. All right, so let me go here. I'm gonna go to File. Let's see if I can open. I'm gonna open the mini peaking SVG. That's the last thing. Boom. So this was a free download. I saved it to, I guess, somewhere on my computer. And here it is. So that was just File, and I went to Open Recent, and these were the most recent things that I pulled into Silhouette. So it does save it there, which is great. So that's how you would import an SVG file. But if you don't have the business edition, you will not be able to do that. You will be able to bring in studio files or DXF files. And those could be similar, very similar to SVG files. I'm not sure. I have not dealt with those type of files. So that's how you would import an image. And then to save it, you would do Save As, save the hard drive, and then decide on where you want to save it. So you could apply tags, say where you want to put it. Maybe you want to put it on your Google Drive or someplace, put it there. Your format is going to be important. Silhouette Studio, that means it's only going to open here in Silhouette. You can save it if you have a business edition as an SVG or as a PNG, JPEG, so forth and so forth. So having the business edition really comes with a lot of perks because you're not going to have to worry about what you can import into Silhouette because it's just going to work. Yes, yes, I do agree. It is a little they try and be tricky, but I believe the DXF files may work similar to this. I'll have to look for a file like that and see how that works. Can you use JPEG and PNG for free? I believe so. Don't quote me on that. I will do more research for that question. I believe so. But to be honest with you, you can find great deals on Amazon to use, to get a key card so you can unlock those features. Because once you unlock those features, you don't have to pay for it again. It never expires, and you can use your key card, like your little PIN code, to unlock those keys or features, I should say, amongst 3 different devices. So you won't just be stuck with one device. So I'm going to go ahead and show you one more time. These are the different options if you have the business account that you can save your files. So I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. I don't want to resave this. All right, so the next thing I want to quickly talk about is must-have tools. Now, obviously, I can't show you right here the tools that you will need, but in your craft room, depending on what type of crafts you're into, you want to make sure you have a good measuring tape and a good ruler. You want to keep cardstock handy. You want to maybe invest in vinyl bundles. I don't know what everybody's craft is, but just having the basic tools is going to be a lifesaver. Because if you are selling your items, you may need to send thank you cards. You may want to do something different and have the silhouette write for you, because it can actually write for you on your piece of paper. I know I'm making a mess. On your piece of paper. So those are just some of the tools. If you're new to having a cutting machine, you always want to get some extra tools in just to have in your studio. Like I say, sticker paper, cardstock, a good ruler, a good measuring tape, some vinyl, HTV. You just never know when it's going to come in handy. So when you buy the machine, that's all you're getting is the machine, unless you get a bundle. Then, of course, you choose the bundle with whatever comes with it. When I got my machines, it was just a machine. I had no type of supplies. I didn't have any weeding tools, scissors, or nothing. So definitely think about getting tools and supplies when you're buying your machine, or if you already have your machine, start a little collection, start going to the craft stores, or go to the online and shop online to get the stuff that you. So the next thing I want to show you is how to, oh, I thought that was on there, is the alignment tool. So I'm going to bring in a shape here. So your shapes are over here on the left side, right here, and you have to scroll over to select your shape, and then select your shape. So once you select it, it's nothing there. You would now have to click your mouse, hold it down, and draw out your shape. If you have a Mac, you can hold the shift, and the shift would make it a perfect shape. So if it's a circle, it's going to make it a perfect circle. If you're not holding it, you see how it unsnapped and now it's an oval. But that's just, you just drag it out. You hold shift, it does put it back to whatever that shape you have selected. And that's how you can do that. And you can use the anchors on each side to make adjustments to your shapes. Definitely want to get comfortable and familiar with your shapes, because you can use these as templates if you are working with, let's say, you want to do a vinyl project and you're going to put it on a piece of wood. You want to make sure that you come and grab a shape here and make it the size that you're working with. So if your project, and if you follow me up here, is where you can change your sizes. Silhouette seems to always keep it unlocked. I don't know why, but so be mindful of that. If you just type in your size and I just made it a 5x7. What you can do, a little shortcut here is at the top. If you want to fill in your shape, because right now it's not filled in, it's just clear. See, I could just put this circle in there. It's not a fill. If you are coming from Cricut and you use a shape from Cricut, you will automatically know that it's already filled, but here it's not. So we're going to change the color and that fills it in. See how that filled it in? I'm going to turn that back off because I want to show you about your cut lines. Cut lines are important. If you want to cut this 5x7 out, if you want to cut this shape out right here, you need to have cut lines. Cut lines is this red line, and yours can be whatever color you want it to be. That's the awesome thing about Silhouette. You can cut multiple images on one mat at one time. You just need to change the color of your cut lines. That is how that works. So I want to cut these two shapes out, but out of different materials. Follow me on this because I know we're getting close on time. Follow me, y'all. I want to cut these. We're going to pretend this could be just vinyl. So this is black vinyl and red vinyl. I want to cut it at the same time. So I want to change my cut lines by going up here. So the first box is your fill color so that you can fill in your shape. The next box is your cut lines. Your cut lines is like how you group what you want to cut, what material you want to cut with the same colors. So if I change it to purple, if I select it, first always select your object. If I change it to purple and I want purple cut vinyl, but this is not vinyl, let's say I put down a piece of cardstock, then I will leave it red. It may not make sense right now, but it will in a second when I show it to you. So when I have two different shapes, two different color cut lines, and I want to align them to have them to be, equal to each other. I know I changed the shape of it. You will select both and come on over here to the transform box here. This is a good box to be in. This is where you're going to center, horizontal, vertical. This is where the magic happens, is in this box here. So you can always pop this box because when you select it, it goes in the corner. If you pull it out from the corner, you can leave it out. You can leave your textile box out and maybe put it underneath of it so that you can always have these out to work with. If you don't do that, and I'm going to show you quickly, you select our transform box, and then let's say I select the text box, which is here with the A, it's going to go right on top of it. Now your other box is gone. So you want to keep that in mind. All you have to do is grab the top and move it over, and now you have both of your boxes to work with right on top of each other, or you can even move it over here. Don't be afraid to click buttons and go inside and see what it does. Sometimes we get these machines and we're afraid we're going to break them. You're not going to break them. So don't have no worries about that. All right, y'all? You're not going to break it. Just get in all of these panels here, do something. As long as you have a shape or an image and you select it, it will show you whatever it is that it can do. If it don't do nothing, then it doesn't do anything. So for instance, as you see, I just started sliding this up and down. And look how my oval is now being transformed to a different type of shape. This may play a part if you are trying to do a logo, maybe you're trying to type on a curve, then this setting may work for you. If you're working on 3D projects, this setting okay. I think they just gift us some more time here in the group. I just got a notification. So I know we're running close to time, but no worries, y'all. But just know that you can go in to all these panels and select things. Don't be afraid to do that. So let me hit the back button. Just like with other machine platforms, you always have an undo button. It's right up here. Don't be afraid to hit the undo button. So this is what I'm going to show you that I know Cricut does not do easily. We have to be a little fancy and like try to trick it a little bit to use these type of features. I'm going to go ahead and just fill it in with a color just so it's easier to see. Now keep in mind we have two different color cut lines. When you're dealing with Silhouette, it's always cut lines. Keep that in mind, cut lines. Because if you don't have cut lines, the machine is not going to cut. And I know some of you natives may have been bringing in images that you purchased and you try to cut it and the machine is like, we're not going to cut anything. You have to have cut lines. And I can definitely show you how to put the cut lines on. So when you hit send, let me go back, follow my mouse here. Up here is send. That's how you send it to your machine so it knows what it's getting ready to do. So once you do that, we're going to look over here. Now you see we have our cut lines listed. We have a purple and we have a red. We have a check mark. This turns our cut lines on and off. So if we do not want to cut the purple, we would turn the purple off. And as you see, it's gone. Even though we see it, there's no cut lines, the machine is not going to attempt to cut it. You pick your material, you just select the drop-down box. There's a crap load of material you can choose, and you choose the action. You want to cut it or scribble. There's a couple things you can do on it, but I don't think my machine's not going for it. So this is how the silhouette allows you to cut multiple material, multiple different things on one mat at one time. Very, easy without too much thought going into it. So you have your two different colors, you have your purple and you have your red. So your purple, you could say, okay, this is cardstock. Oh, it just crashed on us. Oh, what happened? Well, let's just open it back up. And even though that was unexpected, this is one thing Cricut does not do. Not that I'm bashing them, but it's important to, that y'all see that sometimes things happen. I might have lost internet, but who knows? Recovery documents. I love this about Silhouette because they will, if possible, which they normally do, will recover the last thing you were working in. It was auto-saved, as you see, that was today at 7:30. And then it auto-saved again at 7:18. And you could just double-click and open and start right back where you left off. I know with Cricut, when Cricut crashes on me and it closes, it does not save anything. Your design is bye-bye. Your design is gone. So I'm just going to come back here because I don't want to waste no more time and show you this is the way you would cut multiple things. You would just choose what material you want to cut for your purple cut lines and what material you want to use for your red cut lines. Put it all on the same mat. You see how it's on the mat? That's how you will put your material next to each other at the bottom. It doesn't matter. That's how you are able to cut multiple things one time on the mat. I want to go straight into text because I see this a lot and I hope I have enough time on here to talk about the text. So I'm just going to type hello. I'm going to go over here to the right side and select the A. This is our text style. And as you download fonts to your computer, you can automatically use them in your Cricut. I hate to say it, but you may have to have like the business edition or maybe the designer edition. I will go look on the website and see if the fonts have any like wonky things with it when you have the free edition. So I'll come in, I'll select whatever this font is. Let's see, let me see if I find another. So we'll just choose this font. I'm going to double select because I want you to really take my caps off. So when you're dealing with fonts in Silhouette, they act a little different than what they do in Cricut. See, Cricut's font is going to come in for the most part either correctly or maybe spaced too far apart. Silhouette is going to allow it to come in correct, but they're not going to be weeded together. So as you can see here, our letters are not weeded together. See that cut line here? If you don't do anything to this file, this is going to get cut out from your vinyl or your paper, or if you're using a pencil, you do not want that to happen. See how that looks? You don't want that. Even if you tried to change the color and think, okay, I'll change the color to black, you can see your red cut lines. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is, if it always attach your letters, Never use a scripted font and have your letters separated. You must move them closer so that they will look like one continuous word, like how it should. You don't want spaces in between. So the way you fix this is you go up here to your toolbar and you will select, right here, hopefully it'll pop up, there, well selected shapes into one shape. So if you just hover over these options, it will tell you what it is. So I'm going to select well, and now it's all connected like one continuous word. So that's perfect that it does that. And then you can change your color if it's just for visual purposes, but what really matters are your cut lines. So if I'm only cutting this one design, then I don't have to worry about what color my cut line is. I just need to make sure that I have them. Because if I turn them off, see that red line that was going around it? It's gone. And you may want to turn it off if you are making a sticker. I'm going to hop right into the stickers. Oh, it just got real obscure silhouette. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. We're all here together. We're going to work through this together. I know I'm talking fast and I'm moving fast, but silhouette is a bam. I mean, it packs a lot of punch. It's a lot of designing tools here. Tools that you just have to like take a deep breath, because Cricut does not offer this. This is like the real deal designing feature. So let me get into how, let me show you quickly, if you have fonts and you want to add those flourishments to your letters. Now, obviously, I've already welded this. That rule still stands. If you weld something together, you can't go back and change it. It's you know, it's pretty much done. So any type of additions or things you want to do to your font, make sure you do that first before you weld. So if I want to add something onto my O on the end of hello, I'm going to double click my word here. And then you'll see we have this blinking line here. And I'm just going to select the O. And if it has anything else here, which I don't know, sometimes the free versions don't really give you much of anything else. You want to change that letter and have, yeah, this in it. Probably not a good example. I'm just going to add the Y to it because obviously that's not how you spell hello. But some fonts will come with flourishments. And as you see, I changed it by not selecting the A here. You select the G in the middle. And then that will give you any type of additional fonts that come with the font if you bought it or if you downloaded it for free. Again, if you don't have these options, that's because y'all already know they want you to get the business edition or designer edition, which I'm telling y'all, it's a great investment. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. Just put the O back on it. I'm going to select it and weld it back together. So that's how you can find the extra flourishments onto your text. So if you know you bought it and it should have flowers or something on the letters, definitely select your letter, just highlight your letter and then select the G. And then you'll get all these additional options. Man, I wish somebody would have told me this in the beginning, because it was months before I was able to find where the rest of my fonts were when I purchased them. So that's with, if we are disconnected, I will attempt to come back to finish up, because there's a few things that we did not go over that I definitely want to go over. It did give me more than 40 minutes, but you never know. So no worries if it disconnect, I'll just create another Zoom meeting. So I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna go into tracing images. You don't want to trace images that you don't have the rights to. So if you found an image on Google and you want to remove the background or recreate it, tracing, you just want to be mindful. We don't want to steal other people's images. I know we all use Google. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you, be careful with the whole tracing thing. And the way you would trace something, let me delete that. I'm going to go to library, which my library is here at the top. And I'm going to bring in, here, I'll bring in this part, this design here. So as you see, this design has a white background, and this is our design. And I want to trace it. It sounds like a lot. It's making Cricut look great. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe it's me not explaining it correctly. I am moving fast. It may seem overwhelming, but I promise you, the more you work in Silhouette, the better it gets. And it all depends on what type of craft you're doing. Because Sean, I know you're into stickers, and I know I am going to cover stickers on Cricut, but you are not going to be able to make amazing stickers on Cricut the way you can do it here on Silhouette. That's a little side note. I'm just let me say that. So stick with it, girl. I got your back. Don't worry. I got your back. So when you want to trace something, you go down here in this little star thing. No, that's the wrong one. Where is the? Oh, there it is. The butterfly. I'm sorry. So you select the little butterfly here, and it says Open Trace Panel, and you want to select Trace Area. So I want to cut this design out. So I'm going to select Trace Area, and as you see, we have cross arrows, and I'm just going to go right across my image. You want it to be as yellow as it could possibly be. You can adjust the threshold here by sliding it up and down. So some images may come in like that, and you say, okay, that's not good. I need it to be as bold, as yellow as you can possibly get it. I don't mess with any of the other options here, so you're free to try those. And then you select Trace. There are times you may want to use the other ones, but for this example, I'm going to select Trace. And when I do that, I can now remove the original image, and now I have a new image to cut. My cut lines are already there, and all I have to do is resize it, and it's ready to go. You can still fill it with a color. You can still change the cut line colors if you're going to cut more than one thing and you want to cut multiple things on one mat. Or if you're going to cut the same thing on your mat, you want all your cut lines to be the same. So that's how you trace an image. And that image might have been from Google or something. So that is how you trace an image. Just always keep in mind there's copyright laws. You don't want to steal anybody's designs. You just don't want to do that. You want to buy them and you want to read the rules, especially when you're on websites like Design Bundle. They have very strict rules, and there's a lot of things you cannot do with their images that I just recently learned. So you always want to read the license when you're buying images and making sure you have the right to use them. So with this same image, if I prefer to print and cut and make this into a sticker, let me show you how I can turn this into a sticker. And this is one thing Cricut cannot do when making stickers. Select your image. I'm going to turn. I'll leave them on for now. Select my image, and right up here is the famous tool, is your offset. Your offset can be whatever size you want to make it, but it's basically going to give you an extra cut area around your design. So when I select it, I get this offset box, and you can do an offset or internal offset. I normally keep it here. This is the distance from your original item, so you can make it larger, and you can make it smaller. Now this offset is what Silhouette is actually going to cut. So I'm basically telling it to cut around here, but do not cut my actual image. And that is where other cutting machines, actually only one other cutting machine, it doesn't allow you to create your own offset. So this is why Silhouette is always the go-to platform when you want to make stickers, if you want to make layered cupcake toppers, layered cake toppers. This is where you want to be, because it's going to allow you to create multiple offsets which is in return multiple layers to your design. So if this offset was good with me, I would just say, okay, I'm fine with it here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So now that we're zoomed in, I want you to see that this still has a red line, a red cut line. You don't want that because right now the machine is going to cut here and it's going to cut here. So you're going to select your original image and you're going to turn your cut line off. Now that red line is gone. I'm going to select our offset and I'm going to right click, and remember I'm using a Mac. I'm going to right click to get a menu or a menu here. Let me do it up here. And I'm going to select release compound path. When I do that, it basically broke apart all these little pieces on the inside, because right now, if I tried to make this, it will cut all these insides out. Now, if that's the type of sticker or vinyl, whatever you want to do, if that's what you want, then don't follow this step. You would just keep them there. You would just keep them here and don't worry about it. But when I make a sticker, I don't want the insides of it to cut. So I would just select each one and you can delete it. Well, don't do that. Don't delete that one. You just delete all the insides that you don't want cut. And now it's only going to cut around your image to make you a kiss cut sticker. If you want to select your offset and make it a color, it will actually print whatever color you make it. So if I make it yellow, it's going to print yellow and it's going to cut around it. If I just want it to be white, you can either select white or keep it clear as long as you're using white paper. How did you learn all of this? Long nights, and I'm always excited about learning new design programs. I've taught myself Photoshop. Maybe one day we'll have a Photoshop class. So I know it's a lot, y'all. I'm so thankful that y'all are hanging in there with me, sipping tea. Maybe y'all done cracked open the beer. I don't know. But I know it's a lot when you first look at it. But the goal is for me to just show you what you can do with this if you invest the time. If you invest the time, you will have these same abilities to create and take your craft and your products to the next level. If you're a crafter and you make wine glasses or tumblers or whatever, if you have to send a package to a client, personalized stickers go a long way. I'm telling you, it goes a long way. So this is how we create an offset, and you can create many offsets. You just have to select it, hit the star again, and create another one, and create another one. There's no stopping. When you see those layered cupcake or cake toppers you see the ladies making, this is how they're doing it. They're creating multiple offsets to make their design. So right now I've created 1, 2, 3 offsets in my design. So let me back it up and I'm going to show you what I've just done. So here's the original design. That's the first offset. Here's the second one. And here's the third one. And because they all have the same color cut line, we can cut all of these at one time on our mat, as long as it fits on the mat. Now, of course, I have my portrait at my desk, and that's why the mat is a lot smaller. But if you select them all, then you can make it smaller and do what you need to do. But for stickers, I'm gonna go ahead and group everything together. You don't have to flatten. There's no such thing as, oh, we're gonna flatten it here like you would do in other machines. You would just group them together, but you do have to create your registration marks. The registration marks do not automatically create themselves. So you go back up to your page setup. This is what we went over first. Page setup, that's the first piece of paper at the top. And the third option is your registration marks. Right now they're turned off. I'm going to turn them on. You have to have registration marks when you are using the print and cut feature. This space up here, this checker space, This is a place where you cannot put an image. If you put your image up here, it's not going to cut it. If you put it down here, it's not going to cut it. This red line tells you where you can put your image. I'm going to select the show cut print border. So that's the black line here is where you can print, and the red line is where it's going to cut. So you always want to make sure you're within your boundaries. Now the boundaries that is there now is just too big. So what you can do is go to advanced options. This is the secret. Advanced options and left inset top right. I don't ever touch the bottom. You're free to venture out there. That's up to you. And what I do is I slide it all the way down. And when I do that, take notice that our now cut area has gotten smaller. Now I probably wouldn't make it this small. You'll get to learn your machine to see how much offset you would need when cutting. Sorry about that, when cutting. So you want to definitely make sure you can adjust it. If you know you're not cutting something that big, or if you want to put more on the mat, that's why you would make those adjustments. Because if I'm trying to fit as many on here as I want to, then I will do that. And as a shortcut, if I wanted to cut these here, look at this feature. This little bar here, if you said, well, that's, here it is. So if you come in here, it's this one here that looks like a butterfly kind of flying away. You can quickly make duplicates of your project just by selecting one of these arrows. Obviously, it's going to send it down, make it up, 3 down. So what I mean by that is I'm going to make this smaller, and I can just select one button, and it will make duplicates. It makes it a lot easier, and I could just keep selecting, and just that fast, I made multiple copies of the one image. So that was a great feature. I love that. It doesn't offer that, but that's okay. That's okay. So this is how you would make a sticker in Silhouette with an offset. Once you select whatever image you want to create as your sticker, you hit the little star, and that is how you can create your offset, is by selecting the star. And for the most part, what's up here, a lot of times you can find that same option over here on your panel. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So it is now, we have been on here for almost an hour, y'all. I'm so glad y'all been hanging in there with me. We pretty much covered everything that I wanted to go over. I talked a lot. So please, this is your time to ask a question. If you want to ask a question, let's ask the questions. If you prefer to come off of mute, I believe you can unmute yourself and just ask, or you can type it in the group chat and I can answer whatever questions you may have. Or if it's something you want me to show you, we can do that before we hit the 8 o'clock hour. I can maybe show you something. Let me know. Let me know. While you're thinking about it, I'm going to show you up here. We have design. That's where we are here. So we hit design. It just takes you to our, what we would consider our canvas. If you want to buy some of Silhouette things, you would select store, and it will open up the store. And this is what you purchase. They don't give a lot of free stuff away. So this is not like a, Cricut where you could go in and find a bunch of free items. They do offer some free deals. Not often. Not often though. You can buy designs, fonts, 3D patterns, and projects. See, free design. How you go back? Free design of the week, and that's your free design. And here are the prices. You can heart, and if a P is there, that's for like print and cut. Here's a font. Sorry, y'all, that's my kids. These are more designs that you can purchase here within their store. And in your library, once you purchase things or as you import images, they will go to your library. You are more than welcome to create folders on the side. It says, where do we see their free stuff? Okay, I can show you. It's not much, but you will go back to store. Because when you set your silhouette up, I think the only thing that's in your library is whatever comes with the machine. Normally they will give you like, I think like 20 free designs, like some real random designs. But you would select select designs. And it may say it over here on the side. It may not. You may really just have to look here at their advertisement board and see what they're offering for free. It's normally not a lot. So this is free. This is what they're offering. That's it. And you do have the option to use it for personal use or for commercial. So if you want to use this for commercial reasons, always select commercial, include the SVG format. You have that option. And the price will change depending on what you purchase. So let's see. So that's 79 cents for this pattern. And when I select commercial use, it jumps up to $4. So you do want to be mindful of that. It tells you the file size when it was published. And then it also gives you, this person, Renee, designed this. And then it tells you other things that's in her design store. So if you like a particular designer and you want to keep supporting them, then this is how you can find more things, or you could just select their name. And there are a lot of designers on here that are on Instagram. So don't be surprised if they send you a message just saying, hey, they love that you use their design. And this is all under their stuff. Does anybody have any questions? Something you want me to show you? Are you curious to know how to do a certain technique? We have just a few more minutes. I want to make sure that I at least address anybody's question.